Hey guys, Brandy here. Welcome back to the kitchen. So tonight, or actually this afternoon, it's Wednesday, June 21st. Happy first day of summer. It's a gloomy mess here in Kennesaw, Georgia, but I want to welcome you. And I want to welcome you back to the channel, Sewing Back. And we are in our 2-week, this is the start of the second week of our June Pantry Challenge. We are taking 2 weeks out of each summer month, June, July, and August. And we are doing a pantry challenge where we make a plan, we set a budget, and we try to reduce the amount we normally would spend by using things that we have in our pantries, in our freezers, or our fridges, or our gardens if we happen to have gardens this time of year. And we kind of learn the process. Anybody can do this for 2 weeks, and hopefully you save money. That's the whole goal of it. So tonight for dinner is we are doing the fridge dump farmer's casserole. Sorry, brain, whoop, it just happens sometimes. Happens actually a lot of times after you hit 50, it just goes whew. Anyway, I did this back in April. I had been gifted a lot of leftover ham from Easter from my mother-in-law, and I sliced that up and I made a farmer's casserole. I had some vegetables and things in my fridge. I threw everything in it, essentially just whatever I had, I threw in it with that ham. I always have eggs, and I had frozen hash browns. So what that pack looked like, it even has the date. It says 4/12/2023. And what I did is I made enough for 2. So that is like a great tip for anyone who's trying to budget, trying to get more proficient in their grocery budget. That's a way to do it. Instead of making 1, you make 2. You save 1 for later, you put it in the freezer, or there are people who can it and freeze dry it and do all those kinds of things. I have canned some things, but typically I use my freezer. It's just quick for me, it works for me, and but you can do all those other things as well. So I froze this, I got it out this morning, and it has defrosted. I also had a bag of diced potatoes from Azure I get. You can do the shredded hash browns for this recipe. That's what they offer, and I've bought that before and keep it in the fridge. So that's what I use. And I have some beautiful zucchinis coming out of my garden that I grew. And this has been so far, it's been a really good zucchini year. So I'm gonna slice those up to go into my farmer casserole. And I also brought up some Parmesan to add a little bit of that. I have plenty of little cherry tomatoes I'm gonna throw in there. And that's gonna be dinner for tonight. I have choir rehearsal at church, so I need to get all this put together. I'm actually not gonna cook it because there'll be no one here to receive it. I'm gonna have it prepped. And when John gets home, he has to work a little bit late tonight. And so when he gets home, he's gonna pop it in the oven. The other boy will be done with basketball, and the other one will be home. And so it'll be a little bit later dinner tonight, but it's okay. But we'll still have dinner that I cooked. I'm just doing all the prep work, and then he can put it in the oven and bake it for 50 minutes. I believe it's 350. So with that, let's get started.
So this casserole is just such an easy casserole to have in your back pocket and throw together. It also would be a great casserole to take to somebody who maybe they had surgery and came in out of the hospital, or a new baby. It's really delicious. And so I sprayed my pan here, and I cut up some zucchini from my garden. And in the prep work, and I'm washing the tomatoes, and now I'm cracking the eggs for the pour over. and you put I put a little parm in here, but I always just use milk. You could use heavy cream if you wanted to, but milk works just fine. And I have the full recipe and everything in another video, and I will link that in the description. These are the hot potatoes, and I just threw that zucchini in there, and then I threw everything I had saved. I added a little corn this time. It was really good. I liked it. And that was the cheese I had already shredded, and then you just pour that over. And then you just slice your little cherry tomatoes, and that's it. I think I did put a little parsley on top, which just gives a nice presentation. But that's it. That's all that you do. And then dinner's done.
Okay guys, this is my fridge dump farmer casserole. Slash, already did most of it beforehand in a last fridge dump farmer casserole and had it frozen. And I just added some things. This literally took me 10 minutes to throw together. Hey guys, it's Thursday night. This is week 2 of the June Pantry Challenge, and it's turkey taco night. And we have all we have all the fixins for tacos. We have a little watermelon. We're just waiting on the cheese dip to melt. We have chips, and that's what's for dinner tonight. So I'll see you tomorrow night.
So one of the items that I made for this week for us to have like for breakfast was a pineapple coconut zucchini bread. I have a video on this bread I've already done before. I usually do it sourdough. I did not do it that way this time because I was refeeding my sourdough and it just was not ready. So what I did was I had 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 3 eggs, 1 cup of coconut oil, actually 2 cups of brown sugar, half a cup of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I used my homemade vanilla. I did 3 cups of grated unpeeled zucchini and 1 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, well drained, and half a cup of shredded coconut. And this makes 2 loaf pans. This is an all recipe that I'm using, and it's attributed to Susie Q, and I will link it in the description for you guys if you want to give it a try. It was delicious. You'll see in her recipe, she has like white sugar and some brown sugar, and she uses vegetable. I changed a few little things. And I did put some oatmeal on top, and I put a little more brown sugar. In my brown sugar, I actually used all brown Truvia sugar. If a blood sugar is a thing for you and you like that product, it was really good. So I recommend it.
What I don't normally do is I normally don't just, when I'm doing something like this, I don't just run in the grocery store. But tonight for dinner is our teriyaki chicken. I got that out. I actually got it out a little late, so I put it in some warm water to get it to defrost a little quicker. I marinated it when I brought it home. Y'all saw me do that on a video. And I'm gonna do some brown rice and some stir-fried vegetables on our griddle. And I have cabbage that I could stir fry and things like that. My boys don't necessarily like that. John and I love it, but they don't, and they're both home and they're hungry and they love broccoli. And so I was out of bananas and some other fruit. And so anyway, I stopped at my local Publix. We were heading back home from the Home Depot. So anyway, I feel like we're always at the Home Depot. Do y'all feel like that? There's always something else to do. So anyway, I ran in the Publix knowing I needed broccoli and bananas, and I literally was in there, I think 10 minutes, and I want to show you, because this is my grocery haul for the rest of week 2. I had $100 for my budget for each week. Yours may be less, yours may be more. A lot of that depends on the size of your family, how many people you're feeding, your plan, and all the things. But for me, that's a huge savings from what I typically will spend in a 2-week grocery budget. So I'm thankful for the challenge. I'm looking forward to July and August as well. And so anyway, let's turn around and let me show you what I got for this week and how much I actually saved. Okay, so this is my haul. I also needed bread. We used up our bread. I finished it off today, and I know that will be important to have some bread. I also got bagels because a lot of times my one really likes to grab that and eat that with some eggs. And so these were actually on, I think because they're going to go out of date by the end of the month, and so they had them on sale. And anyway, so they had the blackberries on sale, the strawberries were on sale, this big bag of broccoli florets were on sale, the milk was on sale, and the mushrooms were on sale. So I purchased those. The only thing that's not on here that I got was this was a buy one get one free, and one of them fell in John's truck, so I have to go get that. So I actually got 2 of these. I did splurge on, these are my favorite Sun Chips. I will be hiding those. I love those. I think all of us love them. I did get a couple of these for moving day for me and John tomorrow. We like these. And so they were a buy one get one, so I got those as well. And so this should carry me with what my plan is for the rest of the second week haul. Of course, I'm already into it, and so for all these groceries, I paid. Let's see. I don't want my information to show. Let's see. Because I used my debit card because these kids of mine, they're always needing cash, you know, to put in their gas tank and all the things until payday. And so, what you gonna do? Okay, so I spent $56.11. Okay, I had like I think it was like $4.46 or something left from last week's budget, and so that's what I spent for this week. And so what I did when I checked out, I used my debit card so I could pull out the other half of, yes, it's a couple dollars over, but I don't care. That's not going to kill me. So this $50 bill goes in my kitty. Yes, it does. And that's how this works, is if you go either in with cash so that you stay on your budget, or if you'll be diligent to your budget and your plan, your menu plan. And when I say diligent, that doesn't mean not having any flexibility in it or having to move it around. Like I've had to move mine around to fit our week and our schedule and all the things going on. You want to be able to do that, but that you would have the items here and then follow throughout the week, that you cook those items. And by doing that, you can pull out stuff like that, and then you just store that away for whatever your goal is. That is the whole thing. And anybody could do this for 2 weeks. Especially you could do 1 week your normal way, however you do that, and then do 1 week with the plan. And I promise you, the more you do that, then you're going to get in the habit of doing that, and you're going to start finding a lot more money in your budget, as long as you take it out and put it somewhere. And it is helpful when you get it like in a $50 bill, because that's a whole lot harder to spend than, ones, fives, and tens and 20s. So anyway, that is the grocery haul for week 2. And this will be in the recap of what I cooked for week 2. Now I've got to get on to my dinner, and I will see you soon. Alright guys, it's Friday night. I keep thinking today's Saturday, wishful thinking. We have a big move tomorrow morning, which is Saturday, so it's Friday night. This is what's for dinner. We're doing stir-fried teriyaki chicken. This was some of that chicken that I marinated. I did a video on that. It was a manager special, and here we are, and I'm just heating it up. I cooked some rice, and I'm not going to fry the rice tonight. We're just going to do this, And so I'm trying to get the vegetables a little cooked, and then I'll take them off and do the chicken, and then throw the vegetables back on to heat it back up, and then dinner's done. It's that easy. That's what's for dinner. Tomorrow night, I think we're doing turkey burgers. So yeah, I think that's what's on the menu, because with the move, that'll be super easy. And so anyway, I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye. All right, so we have turkey burgers. It's Saturday night, and these were just a box of turkey burgers I got from Costco a while back. And so that's what's for dinner. I used some of my Azure cheese that I needed to use up, and I made some homemade onion dip, and this dip is also from Azure. And it does not have gluten and stuff if that's an issue. And just some chips. We're having watermelon. I did make this salad up last night. These are from, the tomatoes aren't from my garden. Actually, the onion's not from my garden either, because I didn't have, this is a Vidalia. But the cucumbers are, and this was been soaking all night in some infused garlic and olive oil and some Tuscan spice. And so that's what's for dinner tonight. And I luckily had enough buns in my freezer that I got out for the burgers. So I'll see you tomorrow night. I wasn't planning on buying anything, but I had some cash because I was going over there. And it's always good to have cash, because when you have cash and you go to a farmer's market or a farm stand or something like that, you're gonna pay less than if you use your credit cards, debit cards, digital currencies and stuff like that, because there's fees involved with that. So they give you breaks when you pay cash. So just remember that. And typically you'll get more of something. So I did pick up a couple of things, because two of the things I have, I don't have any, we're nowhere near ready for any of that to come in our own garden. And then one thing I don't have anymore because it's just too hot. And so I'm going to show you what I got. I spent $14. This did not come out of my $50 technically, because I still have that $50. I had some other cash and I used it. And so, but I want to be transparent and show you what I got. And so let me show you my little haul here. Yes, it came in a paper bag. So what I ended up getting that I don't have growing anymore is spinach. And this is good if you want to do smoothies. It's so good to have good spinach. If you want to, like a lot of the egg dishes, the fridge dump that I did, that one has spinach. The ricotta spinach one I did a few weeks back on the channel. All these use spinach, and I can't grow that right now. It's just too hot. It'll just bolt and be bitter. I could do, there's a vining spinach you can get, but it's very different. And so I purchased that. And I purchased Silver Queen. They had their Silver Queen corn, and I got 6 ears for $4. And then this was the last thing I got. And I don't know that I'll ever grow one like this. And I thought she said these came from South Carolina. But this beautiful Athena cantaloupe. So the corn I'm going to use today, because later on, I'm not doing it right now, no one else is here. Everybody had places to go, people to see. Everybody's pretty tired from yesterday moving. But I got out a lot of chicken wings, and I'm going to cook those up on the griddle. And I have a video of doing that. And I also like to do the corn. So I will do the corn. I will do the wings. And then I have some sweet potato fries that I had gotten from Costco. And I think that I'm going to cook that and cut up this beautiful cantaloupe, and that's going to be our dinner. I do have on there to try to make an Asian slaw for John. He has been requesting one, and I do have on my table, I do have these 3 cabbages. I did not. When I was the other night, Friday night, I canned 4 more quarts of beans. I made a half gallon of refrigerator dill pickles using all of our stuff, which was really cool. And then I did something. Oh, I made a salad that we had for dinner last night, which had more cucumber, tomato, and some Vidalia onion in it, and it was delicious. And so, but I still had these cabbages I had harvested out of the garden. And so I think I'm going to shred these up, and I'm going to try to make a vinegar-based Asian kind of slaw for John. And I don't even know if it's going to be a slaw. I feel like it's going to be more like a pickle. I don't know. And so, yeah, so those, I have those slated. And these were a couple last night I pulled out of the garden. Oh, that was the other thing. I shredded up, I think I ended up shredding up about 10 cups of zucchini from our garden. And I picked these 2 last night, which these will go with our dinner tomorrow night, because I'm going to do this zucchini corn casserole. And oh my word, I took it to the last potluck at church, and it was really good. And I'll make sure to video that one so y'all can try that one out. And I will hop back on, I think, when I figure out how I'm doing these, because I want this to sit for a little bit to try to take on the flavor.
Y'all, for the life of me, I cannot remember where I got this recipe. This is not my recipe. I did get it somewhere off the web, and I apologize that I did not mark that and know where it came from. So, you're going to need 6 to 7 cups of shredded cabbage, 3 scallions, and parsley, or you can use cilantro. I use parsley. For the slaw dressing, you need 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1/4 of a cup of rice wine vinegar, 3 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce or coconut aminos, 1 garlic clove minced, and 1 tablespoon of ginger chopped, 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of chili paste. And it's optional if you want to add some toasted sesame seeds. I didn't have that, so I didn't do that part of it. And you just shred your cabbage. I tried shredding the scallions, didn't work so well, so I just cut them up. And then I put the parsley in on top. And then I just mixed in my little salad dressing bottle thing that I think I got this from the Bread Beckers, if I remember right. And I love it. It has measurements and stuff on it, but I just followed this recipe. It's written down in like shorthand that I have. I got it a while back, and that's why I'm not even sure where I got it. I like the recipe. It's pretty mild. I think it might have been nice. It definitely has the Asian taste to it. But I don't know. I felt like it was lacking something. I think it would have been better with maybe more ginger and more fresh ginger and more fresh garlic. I'm also wishing maybe it would have had a little more kick to it. And I'm not somebody who's usually likes the spicy things. I just thought it was a little bland. And so, especially for that amount of cabbage. So, just kind of an FYI, you might want to doctor that up if you want to make it. John loved it, and one of my sons really loved it, and so one of my sons wouldn't try it. But it made a lot. We're still eating on it. But that's okay.
Hey guys, so it's Sunday night, and my plans have been changed. I don't know if you can see the ominous skies out there, but we have been having severe weather. We actually lost power for just a few minutes. And so what I did, because I had soaked my cabbages, so I have been following, it's new to me, and so I don't know a ton enough to really speak about it, but I'll just tell you what I did if you saw it. I don't know if I got that in the video footage or not. But I have been following the crosslegacy.com, and she talks about how to preserve your foods so that they last, like fresh foods, your veg and fruits. And I think she went viral on how to keep strawberries for 3 weeks or something like that in a mason jar. So anyway, I heard a podcast with her, and she was talking about how to preserve different foods. And so I know one of the things I've had issue with cabbages are slugs and things like that, worms and things getting in them, because we grow things organically. And so I soaked it in a big bowl with water, mainly water, and then I put 1/4 of a cup of distilled white vinegar, and I let it sit for about an hour. And lo and behold, all the creepy crawlies were floating and out of it, and it was clean. And I just shredded that up. So I went ahead and I make this is an Asian slaw, and I'll have to put in the description where I found this recipe. Something Harvest. I don't remember the name of it, but anyway, I put 3 small heads of our cabbage that we grew. I did some scallions. I did a little more scallions than it called for, because I just did. And then I didn't have cilantro, so it said if you didn't have cilantro, you could use parsley. So I put some parsley in there. The slaw dressing was olive oil, sesame oil, rice vinegar, honey, soy sauce, garlic, ginger, salt, and chili paste. And it says you can do optional sesame seeds. I didn't put sesame seeds in them. Don't always like them. And they get in between my teeth, so I don't like that. But anyway, so I've mixed this up. So this will sit overnight, and we'll have this tomorrow. So tonight we're doing like leftovers we have. It's like stir fry leftover. I'm thinking I'm going to make a grilled cheese. And that's what we're going to do for dinner tonight. So I'm telling you, always saving those leftovers for things like this that happen. Like, it's really looking frightening out there now. So anyway, this is ready. This will be ready for tomorrow night, and I'll have a better weather forecast to grill my wings. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye. Hope that you are finding success in your pantry challenge, however you're choosing to use this. Remember, it's just a tool. It's just a tool. It helps us to learn how to budget our groceries. It helps us to learn how to use things that we have. Maybe reinvent things. Maybe try new recipes like I did last week when I made the vegetable lasagna. Oh my goodness, I've already had requests. Not be doing the pantry challenge during the July 4th holiday. Like I said, I have family coming in, and so not planning on doing it then, and I'm not sure how quick after that I will start, but I'll keep you informed. I will make some generic menus. I think next time when I do the menus, I'm gonna work in a leftover night, because this is my 2nd week, and we've had at least one leftover night in each week. So, and that kind of takes the pressure off of you as you're cooking and doing the things. And that was still with us eating a lot of leftovers at lunch and stuff. I just made a lot of dishes this time that had an abundance of food. And, but it was food I had on hand. So, none of us have went hungry, so that's good. And of course I have more and more stuff coming out of the garden. I actually got a little sunburn. I have a little sunburn going today. I was in the garden for a while. And probably a little longer than I should have been. But thankful for all the produce. We're getting lots of tomatoes. I've got more cucumbers, more refrigerator pickles. Luckily I have that brine that I saved, so I can just slice these up and go ahead and have them getting happy in the refrigerator. More zucchinis. I actually got some peppers. I have some banana peppers and some jalapeno peppers. Now the jalapeno peppers came from my mother-in-law's garden. She sent them home with Johnny yesterday. And then some of our bush green beans that y'all saw me plant out there using the square foot gardening method. I harvested a decent amount of those, and we will eat those sometime this week, just as fresh eating. There's not enough there to can. There's enough for us to have a meal. And so yeah, so I'll work those into our food somehow this week. But so exciting. It's all the garden stuff is coming in. So anyway, I hope you have a good one. I will slip in a picture of what our meal looks like at the end when everything is done. and I hope you have a blessed evening, and I will see you tomorrow for dinner. It's our last dinner for this 2 weeks. Okay, guys, I just got it done. That's a lot of wings. But we had enough room on our Weber griddle. So chicken wings, sweet potato fries, some wonderful Silver Queen corn. This is our Asian slaw we made yesterday, and that wonderful cantaloupe cut up, and she wasn't lying, it is delicious. So that's what's for dinner tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, and we will make that creamy pasta, and that will end the June 2-week challenge for us here at Sewing Back. I hope your challenge is going well. See you tomorrow. When you come out to the garden to pick what's going in your dinner, tomatoes, I've got peppers, fresh basil, I've got some dill because I have some more cucumbers that I need to pickle. I already have the brine ready to go for my refrigerator pickles. And yeah, winning in the garden, and thankful for it. What a bounty.
So I got a nice harvest today, working in the garden, and I picked out some cucumbers to go in our pasta salad, and I didn't feel like I had enough cucumbers for what we were doing for this pasta salad, so I just added a zucchini. You can totally do that. And matter of fact, I think I probably liked it better with the zucchini than with the cucumbers. This is a creamy cold pesto pasta salad. And these are my cherry tomatoes from my garden. I went out and I picked them this morning. And I just had enough for this recipe, and I was really excited. So I want to share the recipe with you. You're going to need a box of fusilli pasta. You could use penne. You're going to need 1.5 cups of sliced in half grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, 1.5 cups of chopped cucumbers. I personally like the zucchini better. 8 ounces of fresh cheese cut into bite-sized chunks or something like that, and I am using an Azure raw cheese with this. 1/3 of a cup of chopped red onion. I didn't have red onion, so we use Vidalia. So now I'm getting my focaccia out. I am spraying my pan before I put the oil in because last time it tended to want to stick. And this worked like a charm, and so it's on its last rise before I bake it in the oven to go with our pasta.
Because you just want to release the oils and the garlic. They're not going to be in this pan for very long. That was 3 cloves. And I'm making the focaccia bread again.
So for making the pesto, I'm using my Ninja. I love this Ninja. All right, so what you're going to need is 1/2 a tablespoon of olive oil that you want to cook your garlic in. I've already showed you that. Then you're going to take 2 cups of basil leaves. Now I did probably about 1.5 cups of basil and 1/2 cup of spinach. You're going to need about 1/3 of a cup of parm. And I did roughly about 1/2 cup of olive oil and salt and pepper to taste, and I actually added a little more parm as I went in mixing this up. Now in a traditional pesto, most people will use a pine nut. I've also seen toasted walnuts, but I have a nut allergy, so mine do not have those things in it. So there's other ways, I guess, if you want to get that nutty flavor, but we don't miss it. We were happy with the end result.
I will put this in the description, this recipe. I've got my pasta, has the cucumber, the zucchini, the tomatoes, and it's really yummy. This is my homegrown basil, my homegrown garlic. Of course, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and the zucchini are also mine. The only thing, the noodles are not mine, and the spinach was not mine. Well, and I guess I didn't make the cheese, but lordy, lordy. And my focaccia is in the oven. I'll move this out of our way. Look how pretty. My lighting is kind of dark right now, sorry. We're gonna put this on our salad and toss it. Okay guys, so let's taste it. Oh, I didn't grow the bell pepper I put in here. It was what was in the fridge. All right, so here we go. I like it. I think it'll only taste better the longer it sits. Might want a little more parm in it. Actually, it's pretty cheesy. Maybe a little salt. That's really good, and it's refreshing. So anyway, that's what we're having for dinner. You've already seen how to do the focaccia, and this is the end of the pantry challenge. This 2-week pantry challenge. There'll be another 2 weeks in July. Won't be first week. That's 4th of July week. Got family coming. So with that, be preparing. Get ready for the July 2-week challenge, and I will have menus for those, and I will keep you updated on that. So have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye.